A cage is supposed to be a sanctuary, a place of controlled violence. But what happens when the fight isn't on the schedule? On June 29th in Las Vegas, the rules weren't just bent, they were shattered. A former UFC champion, absolutely filled with rage, storms through the cage door to attack a fighter who had just won his match. Punches are thrown, chaos erupts, and the idea of sportsmanship is put on trial in front of a live audience. This wasn't a sanctioned bout. This was pure, unadulterated anarchy. That moment of sheer pandemonium was just the centerpiece of one of the wildest weeks in recent MMA history. While one of the sport's most controversial figures was busy starting a brawl, another, a beloved Hall of Famer, was dealing with a completely different kind of crisis. He came home from a weekend of work to find his brand new, $250,000 truck had just vanished. From cage-side assaults to grand theft auto, the last few days have been a stark reminder that in the world of mixed martial arts, the drama never, ever stays in the cage. Today, we're breaking down both of these unbelievable stories: Sean Strickland's shocking cage invasion and the theft of Daniel Cormier's prized truck. This is a story of chaos, consequences, and the wild world of MMA. The scene was the Tuff-N-Uff 145 event in Las Vegas on Sunday, June 29th. Now, if you don't know, Tuff-N-Uff is a long-standing regional promotion, a place where up-and-coming fighters try to make a name for themselves. On this night, a teammate of former UFC middleweight champion Sean Strickland, a fighter named Miles Hunsinger, was making his return. In his corner, Strickland and another UFC veteran, Chris Curtis. Normally, having two UFC stars at a regional event would be a huge plus. But on this night, it brought something else entirely. Hunsinger was up against an undefeated prospect named Luis Hernandez. After a competitive first round, things took a sharp turn in the second. Hernandez locked in a standing guillotine choke, a nasty submission that forced Hunsinger to tap out. The fight was over. Hernandez won. But what happened next had nothing to do with the official result. Immediately after the win, Hernandez turned his attention straight to Strickland and Curtis in the corner. He didn't just celebrate. He started taunting them with a series of pretty obscene gestures. Videos show him sticking out his tongue, flipping them off, and doing a crude crotch chop like something out of old-school pro wrestling. For any corner man, that's disrespectful. For Sean Strickland, a guy known for having a seriously short fuse, it was a declaration of war. What happened next was a total breakdown of security and professionalism. Strickland, who was visibly enraged, didn't think twice. He and Chris Curtis stormed the cage. Strickland blew past officials and went straight for Hernandez, who was still celebrating. Before anyone could really stop him, Strickland landed two punches right to Hernandez's head. The cage, which was just the site of a sanctioned fight, instantly turned into a chaotic brawl. Chris Curtis also got in on the action, grabbing Hernandez by the neck before being pulled away. Security and officials swarmed the canvas, trying to separate everyone. But even while all this was happening, Hernandez kept taunting them, almost enjoying the chaos he'd helped start. The whole ugly mess was caught on camera and of course went viral, sending shockwaves through the MMA community. So the big question is, why? Why would a former UFC champ risk his career by attacking another fighter at a regional show? Strickland, who's never shy, went straight to social media to tell his side of the story. He claimed the taunting wasn't just a post-fight celebration. He alleged Hernandez had been verbally attacking him the entire fight. In a post, Strickland laid it all out. "Suck my D, you're a B. I'll F you up, insulted, threatened," he wrote, purposely provoking me for a highlight. I go there to support a teammate, then I'm allowed to be verbally assaulted for a highlight. Never showed disrespect in a corner or at a fight. This was allowed to happen. Strickland put the blame on the event officials and the athletic commission. He argued it was their job to control the fighters and that they failed to do anything. "What frustrates me is that, even during the fight, he was insulting me," Strickland said. "The athletic commission's job is to prevent this from happening. There was no warning, no penalty. They tell Merab Dvalishvili to shut up all the time. Even the announcers were calling it." The reaction from the MMA world has been, as you can imagine, completely divided. On one side, plenty of fans and fighters are defending Strickland, saying Hernandez's taunts were way over the top and that anyone would have reacted. On the other side, many are condemning Strickland's actions as unprofessional and dangerous. They argue that as a UFC star and licensed cornerman, he has to keep his cool no matter what. You can't fight assault with more assault. This whole mess now has official eyes on it. The Nevada State Athletic Commission is reportedly reviewing the incident. Since Strickland was a licensed cornerman, he could be facing serious trouble, like fines and a suspension that could hit both his cornering and fighting careers. And to top it all off, there's still the chance of legal action if Luis Hernandez decides to press charges. This one moment could seriously derail Sean Strickland's already roller coaster career. And as if a former champion brawling in a cage wasn't enough for 1 week, another UFC legend, a guy known for being a total class act, was dealing with a completely different kind of problem. While Strickland was throwing punches, UFC Hall of Famer Daniel Cormier was finding out that thieves had been busy at his house. Daniel Cormier, the beloved former two-division UFC champ and now commentator, spent the weekend in Las Vegas calling the fights at UFC 317. He was doing his job just like always, but when he got back home to San Jose, his great weekend turned into a nightmare. He got to the airport parking garage to pick up his truck, but this wasn't just any truck. Just 4 days before he left for Vegas, DC had bought a brand new 2025 Ram 1500 TRX, a monster of a pickup with a price tag of around $225,000. He was so new to the truck, he was still getting used to the key fob. After walking up and down the rows, a horrible feeling started to creep in. His truck was gone. He went to the parking attendants, hoping it was just a simple mistake. It wasn't. They told him his truck had been driven right out of the garage on Thursday night while he was in Vegas. Somebody had stolen his truck. DC, of course, went to social media, posting a video from the garage to show his disbelief. "This is some real bullshit, man," he wrote. In the video, he explained the crazy situation. "I get back from UFC 317, I'm going up and down looking for my car. They tell me my car was driven out of the parking structure on Thursday night. Somebody stole my truck at the San Jose airport. God damn it, unbelievable." The news spread like wildfire, with fans and fighters sending their support. It's a jarring reminder that even someone as tough and respected as Daniel Cormier isn't safe from something like this. His buddy, former UFC fighter Josh Thompson, even joked that DC should move from California to North Texas to avoid this kind of thing in the future. Thankfully, the police are on it. Cormier confirmed that the San Jose Police Department is investigating the theft and that they are all over this SHT. For now, one of the most celebrated figures in MMA is left waiting, just hoping the cops can find the people who took off with his $250,000 machine. So there you have it, a week in MMA that was pure chaos from two totally different directions. In one corner, you have the raw, physical explosion from Sean Strickland, which has the whole community debating sportsmanship, provocation, and professionalism. And in the other, you have the quiet, frustrating violation of a champion's property, a reminder that trouble can find anyone. The fallout from both of these stories is still developing. Strickland is waiting to see what the Nevada State Athletic Commission will do, a decision that could seriously affect his career. Daniel Cormier is waiting on the San Jose PD, hoping he gets his truck back. It's been a crazy week, and it leaves us with a lot to think about. What do you think should happen to Sean Strickland? Was he justified at all, or did he completely cross a line? And what would you even do if you were in DC's shoes? Let us know what you think about both of these insane situations down in the comments. This is the world of mixed martial arts, where what happens inside the cage is only ever half the story. The personalities are huge, the stakes are high, and sometimes the chaos just can't be contained. If you want to stay on top of all the latest drama, news, and analysis in MMA, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.